Hi friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. Today I have a relatively quick video for you that you have probably been seeing everywhere, all over BookTube, and it's the end of the year book tag. I know people start doing this one as soon as fall hits because it's kind of like, what are you going to focus on? What are you going to work on as you get closer to the end of the year? So I didn't want to wait too much longer because there's a couple questions about what do you want to finish before the end of the year. So we have a little bit of time, about 6 weeks till the end of the year. I think I have some good answers to some of these questions. So let's just dive right in. The first question is, are there any books that you've started this year that you really want to finish? And I have two that I feel like I've been talking a lot about lately because I am taking my sweet time with them. One of them was a Patreon pick, and I'll do that one first. This is a book of poetry called Wild Hope by Donna Ashworth. This was recommended to me by one of my patrons, and the little tagline says, "Healing words to find light in dark days." I've talked about this quite a bit. I am about halfway through. They're short, they're poems, but I am not rushing as I go through this. So I would like to have this done for sure by the end of the year, if not by the end of November. This is in my constant reading stack. So that's definitely one of them. The other one that I feel like I've talked about ad nauseum is Tolstoy and the Purple Chair by Nina Sankovich, my year of magical reading. And I am making progress. I just read 2 more essays in here today. They're not really essays. It is consecutive, but I've read 2 more chapters today. So I am making progress. I'm about 62 pages in. It's just over 200 pages. I don't know why it's taking me so long. Well, I do know why, because it deals with grief and this woman's process of reading a book every day to help her and her grieving process of losing her sister. So these 2, for sure, I will have read by the end of the year. Please hold me accountable. Oh man. Number 2 is, do you have an autumnal book to help transition into the rest of the year? So I looked at the stack of books I'm currently reading in November and the TBR that I just made for Bucket Listathon. And I think the most autumnal looking book is Mariana by Susanna Kearsley. So I'll put this one on there. She's got a nice cozy green sweater, as do I today. And it just has like fall kind of vibes about it. I don't know if it even takes place in the fall. I know it's going to be a bit historical, which I like year round, but I do feel like historical books give me fall vibes in general. So we're going to count this as a fall transition book. The third question is there a new release that you're still waiting for this year? In September, I filmed a video about my new releases I'm looking forward to for October, November, and December, but I don't typically read those as they come out. I would say the one that I'm probably the most excited for in that last anticipated reads video is The Plan by Kendra Adachi. I just feel like this is a good book to read as we get ready, get geared up for a new year, because it's going to help with time management and planning. And those kinds of things are fresh on my mind moving into the new year. I did buy myself a new planner for 2025. I just feel like The Plan would be a great book to read right now. I don't have it yet. It's just one that, as I looked at that list, that I'm very excited for and would like to get to sooner rather than later. Question 4 is, what 3 books would you like to read before the end of the year? And I picked one that I'm currently reading and 2 off of that Bucket Listathon TBR that I'm probably the most excited for. First of all, the one that I've already started is The Small and the Mighty by Sharon McMahon. I would love to finish this before the end of the year. I would love to finish it before the end of the month. We'll see how that goes, but this is very historical, not historical fiction, history. This is very history based, as she focuses on 12 unsung American heroes who changed the course of history. And so I feel like I'm getting a history lesson in a very approachable manner. I love her tone of voice in here. I just feel like I'm learning a lot and it's super interesting. So I would love to finish this before the end of the year. And then 2 that I picked off of that Bucket Listathon TBR is The Deal of a Lifetime by Frederick Bachman. I would love to read this because, number 1, I think it's a Christmas book. I think other books, other versions of this have a Christmas tree on the cover, or a pine tree anyway. So I do think this takes place at Christmas, but also this is the last Frederick Bachman I need to read in order to read to zero. So that would be really cool to read him to zero before the end of the year and knock one of those authors off that I would like to read everything by. So Deal of a Lifetime. And then the third one is the third in a series, The Wild Robot Protects by Peter Brown. I absolutely would love to finish this series this year, to complete one more series, but also just because I love this story and I can't believe I haven't read this yet. And I just feel like it's going to be a wonderful story. So yeah, I would love to read that before the end of the year. Number 5 is there a book that you think could surprise you and become a favorite of the year? I always hope that books that I read are going to be favorites, whether they're something I'm expecting or not. But I do think I'm going to really love Theo of Golden by Alan Levy. I mean, I've never read him before or his writing style, so I'm not sure I'm going to get along with his writing style, but based on what this book is about, a man who shows up in the town of Golden, and there's a coffee shop with all of these portraits, pencil drawn portraits on the wall, and he kind of buys them one by one and gives them to the person or the family who they should belong to. And it just sounds heartwarming and lovely. And if you know me at all, that kind of book I absolutely love. And it's so under the radar. Like, I've never heard anyone talk about this except for the bookseller that recommended it to me in Kansas City. So I'm very excited for this and very, very hopeful that it will be on my top books of the year. I'm very hopeful. So that's definitely one. I don't know that it would be a surprise because I'm hoping for it, but I'm not expecting it because I just don't know what to expect, really. So that would be amazing if that could be a top book of the year. The final question, number 6, is have you already started making plans for next year? 100% yes. I have been ruminating on what my goals are going to be for the year, reading goals, life goals. How am I going to set all that up? I told you already that I bought a new planner for next year. I've been looking through that. I haven't been writing in it yet. I've been thinking about Patreon and things I want to change or add or adjust over there. Yeah, there's lots of things. Nothing is set in stone yet. I still have 6 weeks. Nothing is set in stone, but definitely it's been on my mind. Definitely it's been on my mind. I'm also trying to think about a word of the year. I think I've nailed it down, but I'm still just kind of ruminating on that as well. So absolutely, I've been thinking about plans for next year. Absolutely. All right, that's going to be it. That brings me to the end of this short and sweet little end of the year book tag. I would love to hear from you guys if you have a book that you think could surprise you and become a favorite of the year. What are you most looking forward to reading before this year wraps up? Let me hear down below what that might be. And also put a little sparkle emoji if you got this far and you don't really have anything to say in the comments. Would you want to let me know that you were here? I would love to see a little sparkle for kind of New Year vibes. That's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching and spending a few minutes of your day with me. I look forward to chatting with you in another video very soon. Bye.